Hi guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kiersey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. Today I got 3 phone calls from California Lease Ops at Prime Inc. in regards to what's happening new at Prime. As of January 1st, 2020, lease ops in California are being affected by California AB5. We're going to talk about that when we come back. So if you don't know, California AB5 involves independent contractors and the misclassification of independent contractors. Basically, the state is saying, well, you can't call somebody an independent contractor if they're doing the same job as your normal employee would. Now, it was originally, I guess it was meant for like Uber and Lyft, but it is having a ripple effect through every industry, every kind of business, all through. Even Forbes is talking about it. Fortune magazine's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. So, basically, I got a call today from a California Prime Inc. lease op who had some questions about what it's like to be a company driver, because he was just notified that Prime will no longer have California residents as lease ops come January 1st of 2020. So the options are become a company driver, move your license to another state so that you be a resident of another state. I know people that might be able to do this with friends and family, relatives, whatever. Buy your own truck and run under your own authority, or quit Prime altogether. Now, I don't really think that quitting Prime is going to be the answer, because if they want to lease and that's their goal, my guess is going to be like with these $100 million Knight Swift settlement that went back on, like was proposed back in March. I'm not even sure if that really went through, but I know that it was coming to a head back around March or so. And, you know, there's these different lawsuits. There was another one at Swift that was like another 11 million or something. So there's various lawsuits that are involved here, with various companies being involved, which means that if your goal is to lease, going to a company that has both company and lease drivers is going to be a problem. Now, if you can find a company, I don't know which ones there are out there. If you can find a company where it's 100% lease, then you'd probably be okay. But my friend was telling me that he was originally told that he was going to be grandfathered in so it wouldn't affect him. Now he was just told, no, that's not true. So he's going to wind up having to go either company or move his license, move his family. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do. So just to verify this, I called 2 other California lease ops I know, and amazingly, they just received similar notifications. So that means if you are currently a California lease operator, you need to figure out what to do, get in contact with dispatch, get in contact with Success Leasing, and find out what you need to do and what your options are. I am telling you this based on what I was told by 3 different people. Now, I trust them. These are people that I know and trust. So, you know, I haven't heard any official word from Prime yet. If you are in training on a TNT truck or a PSD truck and your intention out of California was to wind up going lease, you now have a decision to make. You know, your plans might be derailed a little bit. And you also have to keep in mind that if you choose to leave Prime because you can't lease out of California, you are still going to be liable for that contract that you signed for your schooling. And everybody's contract's different, so I can't really comment on that. The last one I saw was like $4,500 plus 12% interest. So you want to think about that. How much time do you have left that you would need to drive before you, you know, because of the fact that training has been extended, your hire date is when your contract starts. So if you were in training for 3 or 4 months, you don't have to do a year past your training. You're not doing a year solo. Those 3 or 4 months of your training do count towards your contract. So that's a good thing. But I don't really recommend going to other companies. I've been hearing on various websites and Facebook groups and stuff that a lot of other companies are sitting and they're not getting loads. And thank God, you know, Prime, I'm a reefer, so the good thing about reefer people don't discuss is I could run either a refrigerated load or a dry load. I just turn the reefer off. So sometimes I run paint, sometimes I run detergent, sometimes I run like corn meals that are dry, or potato flakes, or I had something that was like almost like looked like paper mache. It was like that powdery stuff. So we've run a lot of different products. Even Michelin tires I've been to quite a few times. So I seem to think that we have more freight than some of these other companies. When I was just running across I-40 this weekend, there were guys, like the truck stops were like almost full. The rest areas were almost full. And I was like, what's going on? And just kind of scuttlebutt that's going on, you know, some of the forums that I'm on, people are saying they're sitting. Swift and Schneider and Knight, you know, these people aren't getting loads. I'm talking major carriers. Some of these people don't have loads. So I was in a truck stop on I-40 and was talking to this guy, and I was like, what's going on? You know, is there a storm coming I need to know about? It's not on my radar. And he's like, no, me and the whole back row, we've been sitting here for 2 days waiting for loads. There's no freight. And I don't comprehend that, because Greedy One Kenobi would have me go bobtail or deadhead, you know, hundreds of miles to go put me in a freight zone. So, you know, at Prime right now, really lucky, lots of freight. You know, so take that into consideration if you're considering leaving Prime because of this lease situation. There are a lot of changes going on in the industry right now. If you look at Stevens Transport, you know, they got rid of their tanker division. Schneider got rid of a bunch of dedicated accounts not that long ago. Even Swift Logistics, people are talking about, they just closed down a warehouse in York, Pennsylvania. So they laid off 59 warehouse workers. How that would affect their drivers, I have no clue. But this is the kind of thing that people are talking about right now. So I figured I'd bring it to your attention, and maybe if I get on early enough, you didn't hear it anyplace else, and you'll like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are a lease op from California, please comment below and let us know if you got that phone call yet. If you are driving for a company that's getting good miles right now, please comment below and let us know, so that if people have some choices of companies to go to. You know, a lot of our companies have slowed down in hiring, and this is one of the reasons why, or slowed down on ordering trucks, and this is one of the reasons why. How they deal with it now, like Swift and Knight, their CEO said that profits were down the third quarter. They expect them to be down the fourth quarter, but yet they say that the settlements that happened earlier this year have nothing to do with those profit margins, that those $100 million settlements were already settled on a different budget. It was already set aside. Me personally, when it comes to these type of lawsuits that are going back and forth all the time, I think if you signed a contract that said you are not an employee and you're gonna pay for this truck, that if you accept it, that's your choice. You know, there is a lawsuit against Prime that a lot of people are aware of. I think the guy's name is like Oliveira or something. And when you start to read, some of the articles are very slanted, and you can tell they don't know anything about trucking. They don't know anything about Prime. I've read the contract. The contract specifically says the truck is not yours. You are paying a lease payment. You need to turn the truck in at the end of the lease. One of the arguments that his lawyer put forth was that he didn't know that he wouldn't get to keep the truck at the end of the lease. I call foul. I'm sorry, I've seen the lease agreements. The first line is, you know, you are now going to be, by signing this contract, an independent contractor and not a Prime employee. And, you know, I get the concept of the laws in California. It's to make sure that people aren't getting abused and that people aren't getting screwed over. And it's to ensure that employers pay the payroll taxes and don't cheat people out of things like benefits and workman's comp and all this. But my thing is, if they're choosing to do it and they are signing a contract that give all those benefits away, then I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with people not reading their contracts. I do have a problem with people not being told. Like, if you watch my lease video, The Truths of Leasing, and I'm really against people going out for their first year when it comes to trucking and going out lease, but I'm not against somebody's right to be able to do it. Okay? I don't want you to go out until you are prepared and you understand what's going on. In that video, I talk about some of the liabilities. You know, you could be hit with a $10,000 negligence. You could be hit with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of product claim because the product is not covered. The cargo is not covered unless you are involved in an accident. And if an accident is your negligence, you could be held responsible for a lot more. Someone who just told me, somebody that I really trust, told me that there is a lease op at Prime that is responsible for a $1.5 million high value load that was damaged while he was teaming. He and his teammate were driving and the product got ruined. So $1.5 million. I don't want to be that guy in the hole. He's going to have to go bankrupt now. So these are the kinds of things that I take issue with. It's okay if you know it ahead of time and you're prepared for it and that's an educated decision you made, but I don't like when people just walk in and they just sign on the dotted line and they don't even know what they're signing. All they know is that somebody they know said it was great. So that's my rant for today. If you are a lease op in California, please comment below and let us know what you were told. If I'm full of crap, then please let me know because this is what I've been told by 3 different people now. So if I get more information, I'll be sure to let you know. And thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the little notification bell, and I hope to see you out here trucking along. Just not in California. I don't want to go there. Even as a company driver, I don't want to go to California. Bye.